Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Excuse me. Let me just wash my hands for doing that. I've just got a frog in my throat. Don't worry, I do not have the virus, but I will wash my hands as I've just coughed into them. So, how is everyone today? And hope you now. I've put some very minimal makeup on today, and I just wanted to tell you it's really very minimal. All I did was I did a lot of skincare this morning because I'm getting a lot of these spots coming, and I'm just going to keep talking until you come online. I did this thing last year on, hello Stacey, hello Shahina. I did this thing at La Roche-Posay. I've got on their website this thing where you can scan your skin, and it scans your skin and it tells you where you've got pimples, where you've got marks, and where you've got blackheads. And obviously for me, it's more about the marks. And I thought my pigmentation's got a lot worse. I'm sure it has, but I'd done it in August. So I went back in there and I scanned again, and it said that I'd got something like three more. Hello, Maria. Hello. So it said I had something like three more areas of pigmentation than I had in August, which I kind of knew, but having a scientific scan. So this morning I got to work, pulled out all my kind of anti-pigmentation. Hello. And I started using all my stuff that treats pigmentation. So one of the things that works really well for me is azelaic acid. Really helps to just calm down. So I did that, did lots and lots of skincare, and I also used Niod pigment serum. Still waiting on Charlotte's serum. They only dispatched it on Sunday. Can you believe that? And I ordered it a week ago. So Rebecca got hers the very next day, but I'm still waiting for mine. Now, they did say there were some delays and they wouldn't be dispatched until the 17th, but they didn't dispatch mine until Sunday. Was that the 17th? Might have been. So anyway, I'm waiting on that. I haven't got that yet. So I did that, and then I thought, do you know what? I've got my sunscreen on, put my tinted sunscreen on, and I thought I'll just put the 3 Glow Plexion products. So I put Studio 10 Glow Plexion on as a primer, just to make me glow. And then I put the Bronze Plexion. Hello, Rena. Hello, Sunshine. And then I put the Blush Plexion. There's a blush one as well. So just put those on. And this is Fenty Beauty. Oh, I hope I've not put it away, because I was going to use that. This is Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, which does feel very... I still don't like the feel of it. It's too tacky on my skin, but it does look beautiful. No, it's here. Hello. So I'm going to say hello to you all. Now, I've had 3 questions. I'm going to say hello to you all, but I've had 3 questions, and I'm going to chat more to you today. And I'll put some makeup on as I'm chatting a little bit, but I often miss out on your chats, and I want to... You received your serum, you didn't even get a dispatch email, it just arrived. I think probably, Stacey, what's happening is they've probably got a lot of people off self-isolating, and when it comes to packaging and deliveries, I kind of get that. Emails, as I said, no. Now, Shahina, did you get any update from Pat McGrath? I want to know. I put a bit of that gloss bomb on my eyes, and look, because I've got hooded lids, it doesn't work, but I knew that that was going to happen. I just thought, oh, I'll put a bit of the gloss bomb on my eyes, because pigment is pigment. Did you get any update from Pat McGrath? Before I go into the questions, and I'm going to say hello to you all. Yes, they said they were going to replace the trio. Well done. So have you got any dispatch confirmation yet from them? Let's keep pushing them. Right, I'm going to say hello to you all. Make sure I've said hello to everybody. So, hello, Stacey. Hello, Shahina. Hello, Maria Elena Valdivia. Hello, Bushra. Hello, Sunshine. Hello, Rena. And hello, Leslie. Yeah, hello, Leslie. You finally made a live. Now, yesterday when I did my video, I said, I'll see you tomorrow. And then I realised tomorrow was not Wednesday. And I thought, you know what the hell? Let's do 2 lives this week. So I'll do another live tomorrow at 1 o'clock. But I might do a look or something tomorrow. But I'm going to be a bit more chatty today. And I've got my 1 coffee of the day. I'm not really a fan of coffee. But I like to have a coffee kind of midday when I'm flagging. And I haven't been sleeping well. So it keeps me pepped up. Slurping. Now, I had 3 questions. One was, could I compare and show you the difference between the maroon palette and vintage vamp, which is a really good question because immediately when I saw it, I thought vintage vamp, but actually it's not as close as you think, but I'm going to show you that. So I did have a question about that. I also had 2 questions this morning on my community. And I'm sorry, you know I'm going to forget who asked me and everything, but just shout up and say that was me. I haven't tried the new serum, Elaine, because it hasn't arrived yet. I ordered it last week and I'm still waiting. They only dispatched it on Sunday. So as soon as it arrives, I'll let you know my thoughts. But I ordered it Monday, I think, on VIP, last week on Monday, and I haven't got it. Yes, you should do a look using all your most expensive makeup. I could do that. I could do that, yeah. Okay. So it'd be Pat McGrath and La Prairie and Tom Ford, probably. Yeah, I could do that. Love to do that. Yeah, as soon... Have a look also, Elaine. I don't know if you know, but my good friend Rebecca has also got a YouTube channel. She only started it a couple of months ago, but she's incredibly knowledgeable about her products. She does actually come from the kind of fashion industry, so she's used to reviewing fashion and kind of doing... But she used to write a lot about these things. So she started a YouTube channel and it's called Not Fit for Print Beauty. She has received the serum already. So if you want to go over to Rebecca's channel, it's Not Fit for Print Beauty. I'd like to support her and get her subs up because she's been so supportive to me. And I wouldn't recommend it if she wasn't any good, but she really is good. And she's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of historical knowledge. You love the serum. It's beautiful. Okay. But do come back to me when I finally get it as well. Don't forget me. Hello, Natasha. Okay. So the 3 questions were vintage vamp versus maroon palette. One of you, shout out who it was, asked about the colour correctors. Not sure what colour to get. And could I show my Magic Vanish colour correctors? And the other person asked about blushes and wanted to see all the different cheek to cheek blushes. I've got all of them, so I can show you all of them. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, let's start, because I deliberately did not put any concealer on so that I could show you the Magic Vanish. Let me just get that. I think the serum has had mixed reviews. And I did watch Rebecca's because I like to support her channel, but I tend not to look. I try not to look at reviews before I do mine, because I don't want to be influenced by someone else's review. But I know it's had some mixed reviews, and I think it will be roughly split in the middle. There'll be people that love it, and there'll be other people. There is a bit of a kind of... There's quite a strong opinion in the industry, I think. So you ordered it on Thursday and it arrived yesterday. Well, I ordered it on VIP last Monday and I haven't got mine yet. I might have to chase it soon. But it did say it only dispatched on Sunday. I must be living in an area now that doesn't dispatch as quickly, because when I lived in London, I used to get things the very next day. Hello, Julie. I've forgotten what I was saying now before. Oh, it doesn't matter. It can't have been important. No, I don't. I tell you what, let me tell you about the emails. It doesn't matter if I ramble off subject anyway at the moment, because today is a bit of a chatty one. I don't get VIP notifications anymore. I don't get any emails whatsoever. The really weird thing is, like we're all bored at the moment, sitting there playing solitaire. You know those adverts that come up? Hello there, Rebecca. I've just been recommending your channel to someone, to Elaine. Here's Rebecca. Was thinking of getting the blue eyeshadow. Yes, I would definitely recommend the blue eyeshadow palette. And actually, I was thinking of putting that on today while I'm talking to you, but we'll play it by ear. If I don't put it on today, I'll do it tomorrow, actually. But I was looking, because I couldn't sleep last night. You know, I'm going to just forget what I was saying a minute ago. So, but I'm just going to ramble. Last night I couldn't sleep very well, and I was watching Lisa Eldridge, and she did a blue eye makeup look with this Fenty Beauty gloss, and I thought, ooh, I fancy giving that a go, so I will do that. So I don't know what I was saying before. Just, I'm just going to ramble and then just go off topic and then forget what I was saying, because that's just me. But I love chatting to you all, you see. Let me just go back to the comments and see if I can remind myself of what... Yeah, so the VIP. Yes, Charlotte VIP. So I don't get emails, but I suddenly get these pop-up adverts when it's about to come out, and it takes me to the VIP. So I think it's something to do with Facebook. So what I would suggest is, because it says Facebook adverts, when it diverts... So I was playing solitaire last Monday, and it said, get Charlotte's Magic Serum now. And I clicked on it, and it went, Facebook, and then it took me to the VIP access. So, yeah, I haven't had emails, but what I would suggest, if you're not getting VIP notifications, and I'm not, by email, go onto Facebook, like her channel, follow her channel, because I think it's something to do with Facebook. So go in and like Charlotte Tilbury on Facebook, and comment on Charlotte Tilbury on Facebook. Do a lot of comments, whatever. And I think then go into one of these games where adverts pop up. And then on the day that of VIP access, it pops up. That's the last 2 times. That's how I've actually managed to get onto it, is I've been playing solitaire and it's popped up. So that's my little tip for you, okay? So let's do this magic. Now, I did look up the lady that... Who was it? Which one of you? Can you just shout out? Who asked me about the magic colour corrector? Are you here? Because I know you've only just asked me about an hour ago, but I forget names. They go in one ear and out the other. If you gave me a number, I'd remember it forever. Was it you? Hello, Julie. Sorry, Julie. I'm really forgetful about names. Right. So I did quickly go into Charlotte Tilbury's website to look up, because you weren't sure, were you, what shade to get. Now, I've got shades 2 and 3. I'll show you shade 2. Here's shade 2. And here's shade 3. Now, you said you were shade 4 in Magic Away. See, I remember numbers. Just don't remember your name, but I know that you use shade 4 in Magic Away. Right, so there's shade 3. Now, I looked, and of course, it's really annoying, because when you click on shade 1 of this, it says that, hello, Celine, it says that Magic Away, that would be somebody who uses Magic Away shade 3. And when you click on shade 2 for this, it says that would be somebody who uses Magic Away shade 5. So it doesn't actually give you anything for shade 4. So I see where your problem is, okay? I think your safest bet would be to go for shade 2, which is this one. I tell you why, because If you saw my video yesterday, let me just show you something here. I did this yesterday. I got this colour corrector. Now, this is peach toned and it's lighter than this. If you use a peach tone that is too light for you, it won't colour correct. I'm going to demonstrate what I mean. Whereas if it's too dark for you, it's okay, and I'm going to explain why. It's better to go darker than lighter with a colour corrector. So I would definitely go for shade 2. You have number 1 in the concealer. Right, okay. So you are quite fair if you've got number 1 in the concealer. You've thrown me now, because I was going to tell you to go for shade 2, but if you're number 1 in the concealer, hang on, what does it say? Oh, wait a minute. I have Magic Away 4 and I have number 1 in the concealer. Oh, which concealer is that? But Magic Away is the concealer. I'm not sure what you mean by you got shade 4. But that wasn't Julie, was it? That's Elaine. Okay. Oh, I see. Right. You have number 1 in the right. Okay, Magic Vanish. So you're shade 4 and you used shade 1. Okay. Right. All right. Well, let me just show you. So this is for Julie. Right. The reason I'm saying, so this one, this colour corrector that I was showing you yesterday is too light for me. Okay. Then you'll see this one's probably going to be slightly darker. Right. Yes. And then you'll see shade 3, which is actually too dark for me. Right. And I'm actually a mixture of these two. Now, if you go and put, I'm going to use this, which is this shade here. If I'm going to find my, let me find my brown spot, because I have done a bit of coverage with tinted sunscreen. Right, so let me find my, if I put this, and I demonstrated this yesterday. If I put something that's too light, it's still popping through, right? It won't work. It won't colour correct properly. Whereas if I put something too dark on it, let me just put this, it will blot it out straight away. And then you can go ahead and cover that with concealer. Do you see what I mean? So it's better to get something that was slightly too dark, because you can cover it with concealer. That's what you're meant to do anyway. If I put this under here, right, which is too light for me. So if we're talking about dark circles, I'm going to just show you this. So this is way too light for me. And then I'm going to put shade 3, which is way too dark. How did I get that there? How did I just get that there? Okay. And I'm going to put here, on this side, I'm going to put the one that's too dark for me. And hopefully, when I put the concealer over the top, you're going to see that this actually, although it's too dark, once I cover it up with concealer, this is actually going to colour correct better than getting something that's too light. Which is why I would say to you, if you're in between, which you obviously are in terms of advice, to go for the darker of the two. So let me just get my magic away. I look ridiculous now, don't I? What does everyone else say? Do you agree with that? I know that we've got, one of you said the shade 1 looks great. I'm just going to, I want shade 6, please. Where's my shade 6? There we are. So I'm going to put shade 6 Magic Away under my eyes now. And I'm going to put it under both. I'll put it under this one first. So I don't move some of the orange over. So it's done a bit of colour correcting. Now I'm going to put it over this. And obviously I'm going to have to put a tiny bit more on to actually cover up the orange. But it's not because I'm putting more concealer on. It's because of the orange underneath that it's actually hopefully going to show you that it covers me better. Right, let's do it. Right, I'm going to just put, I'm just wiping it off. Put a little bit more here. Now put a bit more there. So I'm being fair. Now, can you see that although that was too dark for me, way too dark, it's actually colour corrected better than if I went too light. That's still popping through. That is more colour corrected. Does that show? The darkness there looks like it's popping through, whereas it's not popping through as much. Good. So, if in doubt and you're between two shades, so therefore I would say, Julie, go for shade 2. You're safer getting shade 2. You're definitely not going to be shade 3, right? Because if you're 4 in Magic Away, definitely that would be too dark. So I would go, as they said, it could be 1, it could be 2. I would go for 2 because you always cover it with concealer anyway. Okay, hope that's been helpful. I'm going to look a bit weird now, aren't I? Let me just put a bit of this. I'm going to mix some of this now and cover it up while I'm talking to you. Now, we've got some other questions. So, you prefer number 2 on me? Oh, what? Number 2 Magic Vanish? Well, that's still darker. Don't forget, I actually put this one on to show you one that's too light. Okay, I actually put that one on, which is the Studio 10 one, to show you what happens when you put something on that's too light. Number 2, I can get away with, but I was matched at the event when they launched this. A senior Charlotte Tilbury makeup artist matched me to 3. And I actually think the absolute best is to mix 2 and 3 together for me. But yes, let me put on shade 2 now over this rather than putting the orange. So this is shade 2. This isn't bad. But I prefer a bit more peach in it. You see, it still doesn't quite cover that spot. So you see, I use it also for covering pigmentation, like here. Was when I mix it with the shade 3, it does. Let me just show you if I put a little bit of shade 3 and mix it in. It's just a tiny bit better. So I just love mixing 2 and 3 together. And then if I do that here and just mix a tiny bit of that orange in, because I've wiped some of that off now. Let me put the orange there first and then cover it with 2. It should almost disappear. Yeah. See? Gone. Gone. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Now, maroon quad and vintage vamp. And I think this is a really good question because when I first saw this quad, I thought, that's vintage vamp. It's just a rehash. But actually, I got a surprise when I went. I remember getting a surprise when I swatched it. And yes, you might. I tell you what, the one that is perfect in terms of colour, but I don't like the consistency as much. There is the Becca Under Eye Corrector is that shade, the in-between shade. But the formula creases because it's too slidey under the eyes. So I like Magic Vanish's formula because it doesn't crease under the eyes. It's still got moisture, but not. If you get something that's really too moisturising, it just starts to settle into fine lines. It's too slidey. But it's in terms of the colour, it's perfect. You haven't received any, and you've been waiting for 3 separate orders. Oh, Pat McGrath. What is she like? I honestly think we'd be better just get it in the UK. Now, a couple of you commented last week after my video from the US saying, actually, it's fine in the US. So I think if you're in the US, it's fine ordering from Pat McGrath. But whatever she's done in the UK, it's no good. I would definitely, I just give up. I would go onto Selfridges. I've decided I will still order from Pat McGrath, but I'll only ever order one product at a time. Because, yeah, you're fine in the US as well. It must be something to do with UK. Their borders are closed. Ah, that might be why. Good point, Shahina. The borders are closed. It may be getting... But then you see, I don't think it's the delivery. It's also about kind of customer service. Yes, it may be something to do with that. But it doesn't stop them emailing you and keeping you in touch. I think that's where they kind of... There's parts of it that are probably justifiable. And parts of it that aren't. But yes, email. Just email customers and say, look, we're really sorry. The borders are shut, so it's causing massive delays. But the problems that I've had have been with them missing things out of the boxes, and that's not to do with border control. I did order something. Thank you so much, Stacey, for letting me know. Stacey sent me a message last week and said, let me just get my vintage vamp while I'm talking to you. Sent me a message on Instagram, said, Ali, go on to Pat McGrath. She's got this palette, the 6-pan palette. And it's, what was the name of it, Stacey? It was reduced in the sale to £25. But if you use the spring code, you got it for £18.75. Now, I forgot to use the spring code, so I got mine for 20, but still, it was £60. Platinum bronze, subliminal platinum bronze. So I got a real bargain thanks to Stacey. So thank you, Stacey. Now, let me get my eye palettes. Actually, can I do, before I do that, just because they're out and I'm going to have to put them all away and then get them out again, can I do the blushes next? Who asked me about the blushes? And it's a beautiful palette. Now, who asked me about the blushes? Are you here? Anyone? I will go through... You did, Selena. Is it Celine or Selena? Do you pronounce it Selena? Like as though there's an A at the end, or just Celine? As in Celine Dion? Oh, you bought one to use as gifts. Celine, yes. As in Dion. Or Selena. I'll call you Celine until you tell me otherwise. Okay, so Celine wanted to know about cheek-to-cheek blushes. Well, you're in luck because I've got all of them. Every single one. I love them all. I do actually love them all. As in Dion. Right, okay. Right, so let's go through all of these, shall we? Right, those are the two pillow talks. Right, I'll go through them. First of all, the original ones. So these are the original, I think she called it 5 stages of love or something, wasn't it? 5. So you've got like first love, and then you've got climax and sex on fire, and then gradually, no, at the end is climax, of course. Hello, Gemma. So first love. Now, this was one of the original one. By the way, this one broke, and I did a video on how to repair it. So it doesn't look quite the same as it would have done originally, but it's lasted. It smashed on the floor, and I did a video. I repaired it, and it was literally, all the powder was smashed up. I managed to scoop up what was in the middle and scoop up what was in the outside and repress it. Okay, Shades of Love. Thank you. You like the neck? This is from Marks and Spencer's. I only got it recently, so you'll be able to find it. Marks and Spencer's. Now, First Love was one of the last ones that I got of this type of blush, because I thought it's too pale. It's probably, it's one of those that's recommended for fair skin, Kim KW, those kind of shades. And I went into Charlotte Tilbury, and they said to me, is there anything you want to try? And like Jess often says, at that point, I had so much stuff that there was very little that I didn't have. And I said, well, I don't have First Love, but I think that's going to be too fair. And they said, oh no, it's going to look beautiful on you. And actually, this does look, this gives you a lovely kind of glow, even on my skin tone. And because it's got this peach in the middle, right where my cheek peak is, it actually neutralizes it. So even on my skin tone, if you're fair, it's going to look beautiful. Now these don't swatch very well. And I can't put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blushes on my skin. So what was that? Do I think Ecstasy blush would show up? Yes, Ecstasy Tria is a really good all-rounder. Great for every skin tone. I'll show you that. I'm coming on to it. I would say if you're in any doubt about what shade to get Ecstasy, right? That is, we'll get to that in a minute, because it's just so good and it will work with most skin tones. So yes, I would say Ecstasy is a good one. Now that is the swish. This is the only way to swatch these, because they do not swatch on the arms. And then this one is the pop. And this peach is beautiful. And this is very like the Jouer blush I've got as well. You know, that blush bouquet. And it just looks really nice. It doesn't look like you got blush on, but it just makes you look really healthy. It is so mistake proof, you're right. So that's First Love. Now, let me see if I can get you Ecstasy. Ecstasy, Ecstasy, Ecstasy. Where are you? Ecstasy. Right, this is the one Tria was asking about. Ecstasy works every skin tone. Every skin tone. Now, the reason I like this, and it will work with most looks as well. So when you're putting together a look, Ecstasy, and I think Charlotte uses it in 3 of her iconic looks. She uses it for Golden Goddess. She uses it for Dolce Vita, which is now the Bella Sophia. And I think there's another look she uses it in. Now, the reason that this is so versatile is because this Swish shade on the outside is quite peachy. Just a little sort of darker than the peach in the First Love blush. But the middle is pink. So you get pinky peach. So it will work with kind of, if you've got a purpley, sort of more cool tone, purple or blue or whatever. And it'll also work if you've got something warm toned, because it's pinky peach. You kind of got those 2 colour schemes in there. And it's also a really good medium shade It looks lovely if you've got fair skin, and it looks lovely if you've got medium tan skin. Now, I don't know about very tan skin. I'm not sure whether that might look a bit... I've never tried it on somebody with very tan skin. That might wash you out a little bit. So if you're sort of Afro-Caribbean shade, it might wash you out. But anything up to, I would say, a little bit darker than me, and Ecstasy looks great. Now, what is that in an Instant Look palette? Which one? The First Love? Yes, it is. First Love is in Smoky Eye Beauty. It's in the Smoky Eye Beauty Instant Look in a palette, and I believe that's still available. And there is another, the Climax Blush is in Beauty Glow Instant Look in a palette. Right, so that's Ecstasy. Let's move that out the way. And what have I done? Right, let's move that. Right, so next up we have Love Glow. Love Glow is a lovely spring blush. It's very pink. The two shades, the only thing about this is I just think the two shades look almost identical. So there's one of them is slightly more peachier than the other. There it is there. But really pretty in spring. So a lovely pinky blush. Not as versatile as Ecstasy because, you know, pink blush only goes with certain things. But does Love Glow emphasize pores because of the shimmer? Any shimmer is going to emphasize pores. The pop in the middle is more matte. And the swish is the one that's got slight shimmer in it. So, for instance, I've got open pores here. So I would, if I was going anywhere near here, near to where there might be open pores, I'd just put the pop there. And then I'd put the shimmer a bit further up. That's how to get round that. You have Love Glow, and it's very pretty. It is, and it certainly gets you in the mood for spring. That's Love Glow. And Love is the Drug. This was the first one I got because it came in the first thing I got. One of the first things I got a brow kit, and then I got, you've probably, go back and you'll hear the story. I won some money and I treated myself to the entire vintage vamp look. And this was in the set. This is beautiful. It's really good if you're my skin tone or darker. This is one for darker skin tones. Very nice on Asian skin, Tria. The pink is very vibrant. And although I never got it, I think is very similar to the pink that was in her bronze and blush. The reason I never got the bronze and blush is because the bronze looked too fair. But I'll show you this pink. It's so vibrant and gives you such a lovely pop of colour. And then the outer part is a nice kind of... there. It's really pretty. I love this. Love is a Drug. Really pretty. I prefer that. I think Love Glow, I like it, but I prefer this one. But that's because of my skin tone. I think if you're fairer and you would like a pink blush, then you probably go for Love Glow. Now, we have... I wanted it. Sex on Fire. Now, I'm not... oh, I don't always reach for this one. And I'll tell you why. I think you've got to be a bit careful if you're a lady of a similar age to me and you're going through the menopause. Because this can make you look like you're having hot flushes, which of course is called Sex on Fire. It is lovely, but I just, when she puts it also on the models, I also think they look like they're really blushing, which may be a look that you want to go for. Now, when you swatch it on the fingers, it doesn't really, probably doesn't get my point across. But this red just looks like a kind of rosacea red for me, so I don't reach for it as much. But if you want a blush that's not as vibrant, you just need to just go easy on it. Just be very careful, especially if you're fair skinned. Just be really careful about how much you load of that on the brush, because you could end up looking quite flushed, rather than, not in a nice way, but more in a, I'm having a hot flush, help me, or I've got a temperature. So it's not my favourite. I'd probably say that's my least favourite, because I just think it's not, I think if you're younger, I'm not one for saying don't get something if you're older, but I just think because it makes you look a bit menopausal, you know, like you might be having a hot flush, I just tend to avoid it. But if you just go easy on it, it is nice muted shade, and it does go really well. This blush, when it goes with the iconic look, which is Uptown Girl, and it does go beautifully with the Uptown Girl look. Just go easy. Right, and the Climax is one that I hadn't got because it was in Beauty Glow. I'd been told it was in Beauty Glow, but I just wanted the separate one. And Charlotte Tilbury sent it me in that big PR package thing that I got just after I went to her event. They sent me a big parcel and they put that in there. I love this. Again, if you are Asian skin or darker, this is going to look beautiful. You could, if even if you're fairer, the good thing about this is it's almost like a bronzer. You could actually use this as a bronzer if you're fairer. And it does look really pretty. Look at those shades for the summer. You know, just because it's packaged in something that says it's a blusher, that make a really nice bronzer. And that, you could use that as the blush. You could use that as your bronzer. You could use it that way. So take the pop shade and use it as your blush. Take that and use it as your bronzer. So, again, if you're very dark, use it as a blush. Look, yeah, it is. It's really pretty. I love that one. I love them all. Not as much Sex on Fire, as I've explained. And then we've got the two Pillow Talk ones, which came out later. They were not original. Let me have a sip of my coffee. So first we got original Pillow Talk. Let me just clean my hands. I've got wipes and everything by the side of me. So this is the original Pillow Talk. Now, I actually prefer this to the Intense one because I like this here, which is like a highlighter. Again, you know, you could, if you had this and the Climax, you have a highlighter and a blush, a dark blush, a light blush, and a bronzer. If you got those two, you basically, it would be another way of getting a highlighter, a swish and pop, and a bronzer. Just buy these two. So I like this, and I love the way that this makes your skin glow. As you see, if they marketed that on its own, you'd call that a highlighter. That's the pop shade. And then this one on the outside is darker. There we go. Really, really pretty. Goes beautifully with the Pillow Talk look, obviously. Why would it not? It's called Pillow Talk. Now, I'm going to keep those deliberately on there. I shouldn't, no, I'm not. I'm going to do it again. I'll put it on the first two fingers so that then I can show you the Intense one next to it. So we have the swish, swish, pop. Right, and now I'm going to get the Intense Pillow Talk one out. And sounding very windy here. Right, and then this is the Intense one, which is nice, but I miss that really shimmery shade in the middle. So this is the Swish. Again, you could use that as a bronzer if you're darker skinned. Go easy, unless you're very dark skinned. And then the Pop. The Pop is very peachy. Again, that's going to... I'd not noticed how peachy that was. I'm going to use that. That's gonna colour correct hyperpigmentation if you've got olive skin tone. That is going to be a really good one. I'd not noticed that before. I'm definitely going to dig in on that. But this is very dark, so just go easy if you're my colouring or lighter, because it is very dark. You can see very red. Would look beautiful on Afro-Caribbean skin because it's got that red undertone of brown. So it's not going to look ashy. And I think that's what Charlotte was aiming for, because I think a lot of her products could make very dark skin tones look ashy. Whereas that red undertone is going to stop someone looking ashy if they're very dark. So I hope all of that was helpful. And now the last thing I was asked about was, yes, the maroon palette. Let me do the maroon palette and vintage vamp. I've just got to get my eyeshadow palettes. Excuse me a minute. Where are you again? You're in Europe. Tria, go on to... Have John Lewis still got the 20% off Charlotte Tilbury? Does anyone know? I think John Lewis have had 20% off. Can you get... You said you're in Europe. I don't know what the coverage in Europe is of John Lewis. It's finished. Keep a lookout because they often do throw in 20% off. Charlotte's got a few things that got 20% off, but not everything. They're generally... You're in Germany. Okay. Check out Cult Beauty. Again, they haven't got it at the moment, but I think a lot of these companies are having sales at the moment. So I just basically flit around between Cult Beauty, John Lewis. Do you get John Lewis in Germany? Feel Unique. Yeah, and the other one is, I don't know if they do Look Fantastic, do Charlotte Tilbury. I've been looking at them a lot recently, but I haven't looked for Charlotte Tilbury. Does anyone know? They've got a lot of offers on at the moment. My nose is itching. It always looks like I'm wiping my nose. Not there. So what have you got in Germany? There's no John Lewis in Europe. Cult Beauty is worldwide. Space NK, yeah, good. Cult Beauty tend not to have that many offers on Charlotte Tilbury. Often if they've got offers, they say certain brands are excluded, and hers often are. But every now and again, they'll throw in a bargain. So you just have to kind of shop around. I love online window shopping. Rebecca will tell you it's my favourite hobby these days. Yeah, is there not a Sephora in Germany? No, I'm just looking for my vintage vamp. I love chatting to you. You know, normally I'm putting my makeup on and you're all chatting to one another. I'm glad that I did this today. And I think I'll do the blue look tomorrow. I'm going to do what... It was really interesting watching Lisa Eldridge last night because she was doing this blue look. She put it out a while ago, I think. So she did this blue look, and it was using a palette by Lancome. Is it Lancome? So it had a vibrant blue in it anyway. And she said, when I do a blue eyeshadow look on me, I don't do a formulated kind of put this in the socket and put this, because she said it just doesn't work. And it was so interesting, because that's kind of what I was saying about the blue palette last week. Where if I tried to put like enhanced smoke pop, it just doesn't work properly. You have to kind of free up and follow your eye shape. And she did this blue eye look with this Fenty lip balm. So it made me want to have a go at it, but I might do that tomorrow. Come on, Vintage Vamp, where are you? Vintage Vamp, Vintage Vamp. Glamour. Rock Chick. Vintage Vamp. Also keep a lookout on Charlotte Tilbury, because she keeps reducing certain things. And I suspect she might be reducing her Eyes to Mesmerize a lot, because she's about to bring out these new shades, isn't she? And she often does that. By the way, the other thing that's coming in my parcel with the serum is the new formula of her liquid pen, eyeliner pen, and I got it in brown because I'd only just got a black one. I'd got it as a freebie. A couple of months ago, she had, if you order so much, you get a free black Shishodo pen. So she was obviously getting rid of her old stock because she was bringing out the new formula. So I got the new formula in brown to try. And it's supposed to be smudge proof and everything else. I will let you know. Now, here is Vintage Vamp, and I'm going to get the maroon palette. Aldi face cream. Oh my God. I found an article, and I'm going to share it with you all on my community posts. I found an article. Now, do you know what I've done? I've got my Vintage Vamp, and I've taken this one out of the box and then put it down somewhere. I found an article that talks about all the dupes and from Aldi, all the different face creams they've got and what they are dupes of, right? There's one that is a dupe of Clinique. There is one that is a dupe of, what's that other company's name? In fact, the Midnight Face Oil, Kiehl's. There's a face cream that's a dupe of Kiehl's. There is the Midnight, the face oil that I use overnight is apparently a dupe of Kiehl's Midnight Face Oil. And they've got dupes of Jo Malone. I've ordered a perfume from Aldi for $5.99, which is apparently a dupe of Red Roses. If anybody has got the original Jo Malone Red Roses, could you message me, and if possible, send me a piece of paper squirted with the original Jo Malone, because I can't afford 95 quid on perfume right now, but I want to compare the Aldi one and see whether it is. People are saying it is, but I want to be able to compare it and say, is it like the original? So if anybody watching me has got Red Roses by Jo Malone, could you just spray some on some paper and pop it in the post to me, and just leave me a message and I'll DM you and let you know my address. Okay. Right. Now, there is Vintage Vamp. There is the maroon palette. So you kind of think, oh, they look quite similar. But when you go to swatch them, now I might just discredit myself, but I'm pretty certain that when I swatched them, they didn't look alike. I'll do the maroon palette first. So this is Prime, Enhance, Smoke. I haven't got dirty fingernails. This is eyeshadow that's now gone under my fingernails, which I will clean as soon as I come off. Right. Pop, which of course, not the proper pop now. We don't have pop shades like she used to. All right, so that's the maroon palette. And next to it, I'm going to just clean my fingers off. And next to it, I'm going to show you the vintage vamp. Okay, so we've got prime. So that one's quite a bit pinker. Although not dissimilar. Then enhance. See, it's a lot more kind of black, and that's a matte shade. The enhanced shade is matte, that one's shimmery. Probably quite similar to the smoke shade of maroon. Then we've got the smoke shade of vintage vamp. Now, I thought it was even more dissimilar than that. I'm surprising myself. And then the pop shade. So they are similar. I'm talking myself out of it now. When I did this the first time, I thought, no, they're not like it at all. But now I'm thinking they are. But then you've got this gold pop shade, which needs a bit more rubbing because it's a traditional pop shade. And until you get the heat on it, it just doesn't work. Plus, I think this is getting a bit old now. So they are quite similar. Sorry, I take it back. They look quite similar, don't they? Except this is going to look a lot darker. You're going to see a lot more of the pinks and the reds when you put this on the eye. Don't forget, an arm swatch is not what it's going to look like on the eye. And I know you're going to want me to do one eye of each, aren't you? But I'm ringing my dad later. I can't do one eye of each. Not on the live. I'll do it for you, and I'll do a little video on pop-up. What I do is I tend to do those videos at night when I'm just about to take my makeup off. I'll just take my eye makeup off, and then I'll do one on each eye and then show it you, and then I can take it all off. So I'll do that soon so you can see, but it probably will look a lot darker on the eye. So Vintage Vamp Maroon Palette. I think if you, do you know what I would say, having looked at that? If you always liked the idea of Vintage Vamp, but it was too vampish and you felt like, I said this about another palette, I've just remembered, it's too vampish and you felt like, or you were too fair and you felt it was too dark for you, then this would be a good palette. And I remember saying exactly the same thing about the other palette she brought out, Celestial Eyes. So we need to look at Celestial Eyes. Did we do a comparison of Celestial Eyes? You're going to cook some lunch and prepare dinner. We'll catch up later. Bye, Shahina. Remember to like the live, ladies. Thank you, Shahina. You always remind people to like my live. Thank you so much. You're all so supportive. You're in the UK, but you'll see if they ship. Now, who are you wanting to check about? Sephora. Are you asking whether Sephora ship to the UK, Gemma? Because they don't. You might be able to get, if you can find it on the French Sephora, then they ship to the UK. But you've got to navigate a website that is completely in French. And I'm pretty good at not understanding French, not speaking it. But I struggle a little bit on their website. Hello there, Pamela. Hello. Hello, lovely lady. I'm so excited to see you. Pamela, I was so worried about you. Hello. Hello so much. Look, I'm getting tears in my eyes now. Pamela, I was so worried about you. I thought something had happened to you because you're in that area where they've got a lot of COVID cases, and I was so worried about you the other day. Look, I'm welling up now. I was really worried about you. Excuse me for being a complete wuss. Complete wuss. But I was sitting and I was praying for you, and Rebecca will tell you. Rebecca will tell you, I was like, have you heard from Pamela? Have you heard from Pamela? I'm worried she hasn't put a video out. I haven't heard from her. Is she okay? Sorry. Look, I'm such a wuss. I was, because I worry about all of you, but I was really so worried about Pamela. Sorry, look, I'm so silly. I'm so silly. Now, you see, if you're ever in any doubt, Pamela, about whether I worry about you, you know now. You know. I do genuinely worry about my Ali Pallies. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. I do, because I love you, Pamela. I do. And I did, by the way, Pamela, you must have a look. I did a video doing a rainbow look the other week to thank all our carers. And I didn't tag a lot of people in it. And apparently the Pixie Woos have started it now. I didn't get any credit for it, even though I did it before them. But Clara's been doing it as well, right? And I challenge you to do a rainbow look. You've got so many bright coloured eyeshadow palettes. It's just, we've got this rainbow thing in the UK. And basically, I tag you, Pamela, to do a rainbow look. I didn't want to tag you before anyway, because I just didn't know what you were going through. But if you want to do it, it doesn't have to be an exact rainbow. Make it your own. Make it your own. Yeah. So, and I also gave you a shout out on my live. Was it last week, guys? Or the week before? And a little get well soon to Linda as well, because I'm worried about her. But anyway, that's it. So, any other questions before I go? What shall I do? What shall I put on my eyes? I haven't put on any makeup. I've just been chatting to you all. But I'm coming back tomorrow. So why don't we do... does anyone have any objections to me doing a kind of... I'm not going to copy her, because I'm not that big-headed to think I can copy Lisa Eldridge. But a look in homage to Lisa Eldridge's Blue Eye Staying In look. Is that okay? Can we do that tomorrow? Is everyone happy with me doing that? And for now, what am I going to put on my eyes? I'll just put something on my eyes. Right, I will do that. I will do a blue eye look tomorrow. And I'm just going to come off and just pick up whatever takes my fancy. And what time is it? If we got to 2 o'clock, we've gone past 2. Right, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, when I come off, I'm going to do rose gold, eyes to mesmerise, with exaggerize over the top, which is the kit that Charlotte is selling as the Dreamy Eye Kit. And I think there was money off it. And Jack got it me for Christmas. Oh, no, he didn't. He just got me the eyeshadow. But I will do that so that you can see that. And I'll just leave this lipstick on. All right? And then I'll put up a picture later on Instagram. And tomorrow I'll do the Lisa Eldridge, homage to Lisa Eldridge, Staying In Blue Eye look. Okay, have a lovely day. Pamela, I'm so pleased to see you. Mwah, 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 mwah. And everyone else, mwah. Love you all. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Clara's channel. Clara's channel. What's Clara's channel called? It's called Beauty is Ageless 55. Okay? Take care. Bye. Mwah.